Hello children, today we are going to learn a lesson from civics, chapter number 6, local self-government, urban. Previously we studied the local self-government, rural. Now we'll move to that urban, local self-government at the urban areas. So first let us know the meaning of the term urban. So what is meant by an urban area? An urban area is regarded as one which is a town or a city has minimum population of 5,000 and at least 75% of its population should be engaged in non-agricultural pursuits. For example, we ourselves, how we are living. Then secondly, a town. A town is generally regarded as a smaller urban areas. Then the city. The larger towns, like what we see, live in Bangalore city, like this. The larger towns are known as cities. Then the cities with a population of more than 40 lakhs, they are known as metropolitan cities. Earlier it was only the four major, Kolkata, Bombay, now we call it as Mumbai, Chennai and Delhi were considered. Now there are many metropolitan cities including our Bangalore city. Then we will move to that, how these urban local bodies were implemented. What is that Constitution Act? So in many states, local bodies had become very weak and ineffective on account of a variety of reasons, including the failure to hold the regular elections. As a result, urban local bodies were not able to perform effectively as vibrant democratic units of self-government. So in order to make the urban local bodies more effective, the Constitution Act, that is 74th Amendment Act 1992, which is also known as Nagarapalika and Municipality Act, was passed. So according to this act, 3-tier local bodies for urban areas created. So you could see that one is that municipal corporation, that is for the larger urban areas, and the municipal councils, that is for the smaller urban areas. Then the third one is Nagar Panchayats for the areas in transition from a rural area to urban area. In Kannada we call it as Pattanagiri. Transition from rural to urban area. So in this one mainly we are going to learn the municipal corporation and the municipal committee. Now let us find out the structure of the urban local self-government. Now you could see that this is the structure of the local self-government urban areas. So you could see that municipal corporation, municipal committees, cantonment board, port trust, improvement board, town area committee and the notified committee. So first it is the municipal corporation. It is also known as Mahanagarapalika. This is for the big urban areas, that means up to the population, the 3 lakhs and above, where the population is about 3 lakhs and above. Municipal committee. See, this is also known as Nagarapalika. This is for the medium-sized cities, that is population between 20,000 to up to 3 lakhs. Above 3 lakhs means municipal corporation. Then comes this town area committee. The town area committee, this is like Nagara Panchayats. So this is for the smaller towns where the population is between 10,000 to 20,000. Then the notified area committee. This is for very small towns where the population between 5,000 to 10,000. Then the cantonment board. Cantonment board means this is the local self-government for the areas of military establishments. Means it comes under the defense areas like our Ebal, Elang, Jalahalli, airport station. You could see that this type of areas come under that cantonment board. Then the port trust. This is for the harbour areas, especially in the coastal areas. Then the improvement board. This board is specially meant for avoiding that illegal constructions. We say in Akrama Sakrama work of the BBMP. Got it, children? Though all these things are not there, it is for your knowledge sake. In this one, these two main things, that means municipal corporation and the municipal committees, only these two we are going to learn. Got it, children? Now we move to that the main thing, municipal setup of municipal corporation and municipal committee. In this also only the formation, then the functions we are going to learn. Got it? According to the syllabus. Got it, children? Now we move to that the meaning and the functions of the municipal corporation and the committee. Now you could see this. This is the municipal committee. How the municipal committees are formed, or where is it set up. See, the municipalities means here it can be called as municipal committee or the municipal councils or the municipal boards. These are set up in larger towns and the smaller cities where the population is between 20,000 and up to 3 lakhs. Got it, children? So this municipal committee is also known as Nagarapalika. And the members of this committee elected by the citizens of the town or a small city concerned on the basis of adult franchise and the secret ballot for 5 years. How the other general elections, under the general elections we have studied, in the same way the members of this municipal committee elected in the larger and the smaller cities. Then the municipal corporation. In a large cities and towns, a population of over 3 lakhs. So in Bangalore also we have this corporation. So this municipal corporation have been set up by the state legislature. And they are also called Mahanagarapalikkas. And they are in big cities like Delhi, Kolkata, Chennai, Mumbai. Even in the city like Bangalore. So the Bangalore City Corporation, you know that, popularly known as BBMP, Bruhat Bengaluru Mahanagarapalikka. The members of these municipal corporations are elected by the people on the basis of adult franchise and the secret ballot. You know that the members of the corporation, we call them as the councillor. The head of the corporation we call the mayor. So all those things are not there. Now we move to the main functions. Functions of the corporation and the municipal committee. Here you could see the functions of the municipal corporation and the municipal committee. The functions are one and the same. First we learn compulsory, or you say the obligatory functions. So what is meant by obligatory? That means here the functions which must be performed by the corporation or the committee must be performed. Compulsory. These are the compulsory functions that the corporation or the municipal committee should perform. So first thing is here the provision of electricity, water and the sewage disposal. You know that this is the most important. This comes under the civic amenities of the people. So for the more details you can refer your page number 159. So provision of electricity, water, sewage disposal. So these functions are carried through the various departments which have the service of expert and engineers who are appointed as full-time employees of the corporation. Secondly, you could see that it is the provision of public health services like provision of hospitals, dispensaries, family welfare centers, and this has to organize and carry on special public health measures to prevent spread of communicable diseases. Then comes, you know that this is now time being, now we are suffering from corona. So how the city corporation is taking care to prevent and bring awareness among the people. Then next is the removal and the disposal of the garbage. Dealing with the city waste are the priority functions, means these are the most important functions of the corporation. So to carry on this work, the corporation appoints its own staff to carry on these functions. Next comes the provision of public conveniences and utilities. So what are these public convenience and utilities means here? Like the roads, the buildings, bus shelters, then demolition of the dangerous structures. That means those who are ruined, or you say that about to fall, or any dangerous structures. So the demolition of the dangerous structures, plantation of trees, provision of the public urinals and toilets. This comes under that Sulabh or the Nirmal Sauchalaya, like that. Then next is the provision of the educational institutions like primary and secondary schools, including organization of adult literacy classes, organizing and undertaking promotion of sports and games, and providing necessary facilities. This we can say that corporation schools. Then comes here the maintenance of records of birth and the death. Not only that, maintenance and upkeep of the cremation and the burial grounds also comes under the functions of the city corporation or the municipal corporation. Next is undertaking of public safety and the security, like maintenance of fire department together with the fire engines. Then the disaster like floods and earthquake management group. That means here not only the civic communities, in some types of calamities or the dangers means, that time also the corporation should come to the rescue of the people. Then the preparation and publishing and issuing the annual report of the corporation, stating its various activities, projects and the programs. So these are all comes under the compulsory, or you say that obligatory functions. Like that we have the discretionary or the optional functions. Let us know what are those. Okay. Now we are seeing that the functions of the municipal corporation and committee, the optional or the discretionary functions. So what is meant by the discretionary? The functions which may be performed for public welfare are called the discretionary functions. So what are those? Public housing through the housing boards. You can see that the BDA, Bangalore Development Authority, which is in charge of this. Then the construction and maintenance of the public parks, libraries, museum, theatre, picnic resorts, etc. Then establishing and maintaining the children's home, orphanages, old age homes, night shelters and the rest houses. Here children's homes means here for what do you say, that the children who are orphans, for them, and the old age homes, that means the old people who are not having, we say that looked after by family members, we call it as Rudashramas, you know that. Then the night shelters, that mean to stay. The rest houses, all these are optional, not compulsory. Then undertaking welfare schemes, organizing fairs, functions and the melas, this is also optional. Beautification of city means maintaining the garden, then that the entertainment, this thing, all these things come under that beautification. So it is also optional. Children, this is about the urban local bodies. But one thing is there, according to the syllabus, any of the 4 functions you could learn. But particularly that 4 functions I could not teach you. So I taught you both compulsory as well as optional functions. In that one, preferably you go for the compulsory functions. So when you write any 4 out of that 7 points, you could learn any 4 points and you can write that. Okay. Then next comes one important thing I want to tell you. Here you could see that page number 161. There they have given the differences between the municipal corporation and the municipal committee. 4 points are given. See, the municipal corporation means here these are meant for the big cities. Municipal committee means these are meant for the smaller cities. At the same time, now corporation, the head of the corporation is known as mayor. The head of the municipal committee known as the chairperson or the president. So the municipal corporation has more powers and more sources of revenue, whereas municipal committee has comparatively less powers and the fewer sources of revenue. Then the municipal corporation deals directly with the state government, but the municipal committee deals with the state government through the district administration. So this page also you have to keep in your memory, page number 161. Don't forget. Okay. Now we have come to that assignment. That means the last part of the lesson. So these are the 3 questions I have given you here. How is a municipal corporation is set up? This I have already explained you. The municipal corporations are set up in the larger cities where the population is more than 3 lakhs. Then what is known as municipal committee? This is also explained. Then any 4 functions of the municipal corporation, preferably the compulsory functions. Okay, understood children? Thank you.